future right now is uncertain for all of us. We hope it goes back to normal, but we need to be practical in case it doesn't. As we speak, big businesses are working day and night to protect their assets. And you need to be doing the same thing. It doesn't. Because this has been classified a pandemic, it allows big businesses to invoke the force majeure or act of God clause in your contracts. A force majeure or act of God clause is only for catastrophic events like this one, pandemics. And read this clause in every one of your contracts. It lays out what responsibilities they are released from and which ones you are released from. I'll still bet my bottom dollar it's all in their favor. If it does say you don't have to make your payments at this time, then all's good. However, more than likely, it will hold you to continue making payments even though they're not obligated to provide service during these special circumstances. If that's the case, you need to start protecting your own assets. You need to evaluate what you have, how long you expect to be out of work, how long it will take you to find another job, how long it will take you to get back up on your feet. Then look at your money situation and ask yourself, can you continue to pay all your bills and feed your family? If not, what bills do you have to pay? There are certain services that can't be cut off during this time, whether you pay them or not. One is the electric bill, your electricity, your water, and your telephone. However, I will tell you that your phone company will most likely decrease your internet speed to dial-up and send you texts every 5 minutes telling you to pay. Just because you don't have to pay them during this time doesn't mean you won't have to eventually. This is where a good faith letter comes into play. If you're unable to pay these bills or have decided that you may need this money more to feed your kids in an uncertain future, send a letter of good faith to all of the creditors you can't pay. In the letter, explain why you can't pay at this time. Due to these special circumstances, this pandemic. You were ordered by the government to stay in your house. You were not allowed any means of acquiring finances to pay this bill at this time. Hit all those points. But always include a promise to pay. Something like, as soon as I get back on my feet, I will add an additional $25. I will resume making my regular payments and add an additional $25 to my monthly payment. Something like that. But remember this, whatever time you do agree to begin making your payments, you need to stick to that. So if I were you, whatever date you think you can start making your payments, add 3 months. Just do it. If you start making your payments early, amazing, wonderful. But if you pad it an extra 3 months, this allows you a little bit of breathing room. You know what I mean? Just in case it doesn't work out the way you expect it to. Remember to include the following statements. This money is to be paid back without any accumulation of penalties, fees, or interest. And should your company receive government bailout funds or subsidiaries, I would like this debt cleared with those funds. Send it to the company by certified mail. The mail's still running. This is your evidence that you made a good faith effort to work out an arrangement during these special circumstances. For those of you who can't pay your rent right now or likewise need the money for an uncertain future, you can also send a good faith letter. But know this, your landlord will probably still file to evict you. However, you have a couple of advantages on your side at this time. One, the courts are all closed during this pandemic, so they couldn't file even if they wanted to. Two, when the courts are opened back up again, they will be backlogged for months. And three, with a copy of your good faith letter you will be able to stand before the judge and show that you have not shirked your duties during an unprecedented event. Oh no. You have, even during these special circumstances, which have been completely out of your control, you have still made an effort to work with this creditor. This pandemic can save you or destroy you, but only you can fight for yourself. No one else cares about your problems. And no one else is going to care if you're out on the street begging for quarters. If it comes down to feeding your kids or paying your bills, which one are you going to fight for? If these companies should not be good citizens during this unprecedented event, then getting their money is more important to them than working with you during these special circumstances. You have to stand up for yourself. Please don't be afraid of the law. You are in the right, and it's not as complicated as you think. It levels the playing field. The law allows you to stand toe to toe with big businesses, with powerful people, with people that you believe are more powerful than you. And the thing about it is, you don't even need a lawyer. Here's what you can expect. After they receive your good faith letter, they will either acknowledge it by accepting your compromise or ignore it and send you a bill for a past due amount or an eviction notice. If they are at least talking to you about your letter, then they're open to negotiation. Keep talking until you come up with a compromise you can both live with, and get it in writing. Never, ever, 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 ever take their word for it. If they won't even talk to you about a compromise, well, it's all about the money for them. So you're going to need to take this fight to the next level. Or you can wait until they take you to court, and you too will have your good faith letter. Either way, do not fear the law. It's your greatest ally. Since the two of you can't come to a compromise, you are asking a judge to look at both sides and make the decision. If for some reason you cannot afford to file a court case, don't worry about it. They have what is called an in forma pauperis. What it means is the court will waive all of your fees, all of the fees associated with this case when you file. All you have to do is fill out a simple form laying out your finances and the reason you can't pay. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason for you not to go to court. Magistrate court is a safe court. The judges are very, very used to dealing with pro se, people who represent themselves. It's more relaxed and actually can be fun. And let me tell you, if you win, it's a whole lot of fun. This court is truly a court for the people. But if it's the law itself you're afraid of, don't be. Did you know laws were originally written simply to protect the innocent from the more powerful? Go on your local magistrate's website, find their Pro Se handbook. This handbook is for the people who represent themselves. It will walk you through the process step by step. It will explain everything in a way that you can easily understand. Then the next thing I want you to do is find your local law library. It's free and open to the public and gives you access to everything a lawyer does. You don't need to be an expert. Just read the laws regarding your case and your court. If you don't understand it, Google it. Just take your time. Have fun with it. When you file your case, you'll get a hearing date. You and the company will stand in front of the judge and tell your truths. Then the judge decides. If the company doesn't show up, you win automatically by default. If they do show up, just tell your truth. Keep hitting these following points. Special circumstances. Trying unprecedented times for the entire nation. Out of your control by order of the government. You are doing your very best to find common ground with this company during these unexpected special circumstances for all. You are not avoiding your responsibilities, but these are special circumstances. Be certain to ask if the company received any government funds to supplement them in these special circumstances. If they say yes, ask to see documentation why those funds won't allow them to accept your proposed repayment schedule and why they're forcing you to stand before the judge. You have a right to see where your tax money went. Ask the judge for a continuance to allow the company time to produce the documentation. Once the judge makes his decision, it's final. Unless you want to appeal his decision, which is a whole other ballgame. But win or lose, celebrate. Celebrate the fact that you stood up for yourself. Not many people can say that. The more often you stand up for yourself, the more invincible you become. You can reach me at msbryce, BRYCE, at simplelegalfyi.com. That's it for me. Stay safe. Stand up for yourself. Catch you on the flip side.